All right, so you saw my videos, my maintenance videos, my thoughts prior to riding the bike, and yesterday I was able to finally get the bike on the track. So now you're gonna get to hear, my final thoughts on the bike post ride. I rode the bike for about 5, 6 sessions yesterday, and yesterday I did not hold back whatsoever. I didn't baby the bike or anything like that. I really wanted to see, what I would normally do to my other bikes and see, how well it would hold up. So it held up fine. The bike handles really well. I had to get used to riding a 12-inch tire. I haven't ridden a bike with the small tire sizes. And even though I put the Pirellis on because that's what I use on my big bike, the bike really reacts a little bit, differently. It reacts very fast, so I had to get used to a lot of that. Plus, I was able to get the tire to spin up a lot, not really much, but I was able to get it to move a lot, and I'm not really sure if it's, my tire pressures or the track, because they do say Santa Maria kart track is pretty slick. So, I had to get used to that for the first couple sessions. But with the new forks and my suspension set, it is wearing pretty nicely. I don't know if you could see that. Um, and I did get used to the bike after a while and got very comfortable on it. And my final thoughts on this thing is that, this bike's really going to be comparable to many of the mini motos out there. As you can see, I was riding with 65s, 85s, 150Rs. And it's really going to come down to, rider skill. Um, Now, what I think, should you buy this bike? My advice would be to anybody who's interested in a bike like this. It really depends. The answer really depends on, what you're going to use it for. For me, you know, I I really just want to use it to, improve on my big bike. But I'm just a track day guy, right? I'm not racing. I got that out of my system a long time ago. So I like to ride fast, but I'm not nowhere near 10 tenths, and I have nothing to prove. And I just really wanted to use this as a toy. So basically, for me, it's a toy. If I crash it, I might have to wait, a month or so to get parts, because remember, you're buying this directly from the manufacturer. There is no supply, or there is no support. There is no distribution in the U.S. for these bikes, right? So really, that's going to be your cons if you're going to take this racing and you're going to go and crash this thing, and you need spares, right? So you know, I would say if you're racing, if your son or daughter is racing, go for the Ovale. I can order parts from Ovale and then get stuff in within a week. Even if it's from Italy, they get stuff shipped in pretty quickly. I can get them in within a week. That's how I got my rear sets. So really, that's what it all boils down to. If you're just a regular track day guy who's out there to have fun, this bike will actually just check all the boxes. Whereas if you're racing and things like that, or you know you need to get parts in right away and you want to have that quick access to parts, I would say that's what the Ovale is going to have over this bike. Performance wise, I mean, the Zongshin ZS190 was plenty quick enough for me, but having ridden this bike and knowing the chassis and the suspension works pretty well, and I got more confident with it throughout the day. It was a new track for me as well, so I still felt comfortable on it by the fourth session. I would say if you could swing it, I would say get the Daytona 4 valve motor. I mean, I kind of held back on buying that because I wasn't sure what to expect. But knowing what I know now and having ridden this bike, I would have gone for the 4 valve motor hands down. So if you're on the fence, I'd say this bike is legit. It's fun to ride. I'm really happy with it. So, but if I had to do it again, I would just spend the extra seven. I think it's like 800 to 1,000 more or something like that for the Daytona and probably for the adjustable forks and things like that. Outside of that, that's really it. I'm not really sure if I'm going to have any more updates because I think this is all I really wanted to do was help everyone out who was on the fence just like myself. And it turned out that the bike was everything that I wanted it to be. So If there's anything I left out, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, or on YouTube, or just post up in the comments. But I hope everything that I've done thus far has helped, shape your decisions, or even just if you're curious about the bike, help you understand, what this bike is about. So, all right. Maybe a video next time will be at Apex or Adams. I can't wait to ride this thing again. Thanks, everyone.